During the early years of the Cold War, communist hysteria took over. Between 1960 and 1962, that fear led to the separation of more than 14,000 Cuban children from their families in a U.S.-made program known as Operation Peter Pan. This documentary explores how Cold War tensions, political propaganda, and immigration policies shaped Cuban families and helped create a lasting Cuban-American identity. Background: rising tensions. After the Cuban Revolution in 1959, relations between the United States and Cuba rapidly deteriorated. Fidel Castro's new government aligned itself with the Soviet Union, raising serious concerns for U.S. leaders during the height of the Cold War. Tensions escalated with the failed Bay of Pigs invasion in 1961, when Point US-backed Cuban exiles attempted to overthrow Castro's government. The operation failed, deepening hostility between the two nations. Just 1 year later, the Cuban Missile Crisis pushed the world to the brink of nuclear war. In this climate of fear, rumors spread that the Cuban government planned to remove children from their parents and place them in communist re-education camps. These claims, amplified by anti-communist propaganda, created widespread panic among Cuban families. What was Operation Peter Pan? Operation Peter Pan, also known as Operación Pedro Pan, was a program that transported more than 14,000 Cuban children to the United States without their parents. The program was organized through a network that included U.S. officials, Cuban exile groups, and the Catholic Church. Parents were told that sending their children away would protect them from communism and that the separation would be temporary. Many families believed they had no other choice. They sent their children alone, carrying small suitcases and identification documents, hoping they would reunite soon. For many, that reunion would take years, and for some, it would never happen. Race, politics, and treatment. Race and politics played a major role in how Cuban children were treated in the United States. Unlike other Latin American migrants, Cubans were labeled political refugees rather than economic migrants. Because they were fleeing communism, Cuban refugees received government assistance, legal protection, and pathways to permanent residency. This preferential treatment was deeply tied to Cold War ideology. Over time, this created a distinct racialized identity, the Cuban exile, separating Cuban Americans from other Latino communities who did not receive the same support. Anti-communism shaped not only immigration policy, but also Cuban American political identity for generations. Human impact. While Operation Peter Pan was framed as a rescue mission, its emotional consequences were profound. Children were placed in foster homes, orphanages, and relocation camps across the United States. Many experienced loneliness, trauma, and cultural dislocation. Some children struggled with language barriers and discrimination. Others lost connections to their families, culture, and sense of belonging. Although many families eventually reunited, the psychological impact of separation remained long after the Cold War ended. Legacy and takeaway. Operation Peter Pan left a lasting mark on Cuban American identity and political life, especially in Florida, where Cuban Americans became a powerful voting bloc. More importantly, the program reminds us that immigration policies created during moments of fear can have lifelong consequences. Behind every political decision are real people, children, parents, and families